Aquarius, right off the bat, I'm getting the overall message channeled from Spirit of the next 3 months will brighten up your Aquarian life, all right? The next 3 months will brighten up your life. And so, beginning your reading, we have an overall oracle energy being Forest Temple. And this one talks all about enlightenment. And so I feel all the meanwhile a nice balance being rediscovered, redeveloped for this Aquarian collective in regards to putting an effort and resting and healing all the meanwhile. Does that make sense? Because it feels like it's either all or nothing. And so Spirit's wanting you to find a nice middle ground, a nice balance, maybe a different set of routines, a new structure with flexibility to make sure that you're doing what you need to plus some, but you're not burning yourself out. All right. But anyways, so the Forest Temple card, once again, saying enlightenment, because this is a next 3 month period for you, regardless of when you're tuning into this reading, where you're meant to be gaining enlightenment, illumination, even left and right. I also see this being a period for you where your intuition feels like it's on fire. You know, you're feeling things intuitively. You're getting all of these intuitive hits. And they're saying, plus your spirituality playing into things and helping you gain more enlightenment, messages of importance for some of you, visions, dreams, daydreams of importance. Write things down. If you even feel more inclined to, or as well to doodle, to, kind of capture whatever you were just given or experienced, intuitively, then do so. Because it feels like a 3 month period, maybe even more than that, moving forward past it, where you're gaining so much once again. And we need you to be ready to utilize a lot of which at a later date, okay? But then some of which you may still want to write down, even though you can use it shortly after or within that specific opportunity or whatever the case may be. But then I'm getting very hermit-like energy. So there's something about this Aquarian collective more than ever stepping into their true leadership power, this leadership role, if not multiple. And so I really feel people easily feeling guided and drawn to you and trusting you, the words that you're speaking, the guidance you're providing. And it's making you feel better about guiding yourself. I don't know why I'm getting that. And so however that works out for you, it's a positive thing. But I really feel that you're going to be shown to people, or maybe even more so reminded to people selectively, as this serious but goofy light in this world. Somebody who has a lot to offer, somebody who shines bright when they're in the right energy, when they're in the midst of the right people, and situations, opportunities, and I really feel like people are going to start to really appreciate you, from the get-go. And then others that have known you for a bit now are going to really find that they appreciate you and respect you so much more. All right. And I feel like this is going to be eye-opening for them, and it may teach them a lot about who they want to be moving forward. Anyways, and then before we move on to the tarot portion of your reading, we have change at the bottom of the deck. You may as well, within the next 3 months, see a lot of dragonflies and birds of importance. But I do feel you are seeing a big focus come to be quite often on change. It could be in regards to personal soul change from the past and currently, but it feels to be more about what is changing outside of you because of past efforts, because of what you're manifesting, because of your spirituality working to your advantage at a distance and up close more than ever. And so it's this feeling of when you don't like something, it'll change. If it's not right away or in the moment, soon down the line, around the corner. If something isn't really helping you, or it's getting in the way of your efforts or your abundance otherwise, or maybe connecting with somebody, but that's abundance, right? Then there's change, things are being adjusted in your Aquarian favor. But I also feel like you're thinking a lot about what you want to change in your life moving forward, whether it's where you want to move to, what you want to do, with your career, your work life. It could be, you thinking about, connections and whatnot. I'm so sorry about the dirty table. But it's also this period where you're feeling a bit of a balancing coming to be quite organically, naturally, with your desire and approach for perfection or close to it, while at other points just being like, yeah, whatever, you know? It doesn't matter if it's, you know, disorganized or dirty or not, you know, it's lacking that perfection. So I feel like that's not really due to your personal effort or efforts, but it's just kind of organically coming to be once again, where you're not reaching for perfection or holding back from it so dramatically. Anyways, for Aquarius, to continue, the Devil card, it kind of feels to be needing both positions. So in the reversal, I feel like you're gliding into a less toxic reality, one with better energies, more success, the right kind of productivity. I even feel like a lot of you are really dimming down, minimalizing, or completely cutting out a bad habit, you know, and it could be two at most. But I feel in the upright, this is talking about temptation, you know, and some of you thinking about how much you've given in to temptation time and time again, rewinding back. But then some of you are, you know, feeling like you're continuously or randomly on the verge of a burnout. And so it becomes a period where they're saying, again, we need to redevelop a balance, like we said in the beginning, where you don't just burn yourself out, but then at other points you don't just, you know, hold back from putting in effort, you know, too consistently. But let's see what else we have on the board. Ooh, the Three of Cups on the left-hand side, as well as the Five of Cups in the upright, and then the World card and the Ten of Swords. And so I feel a lot of you are experiencing a really important shift within the next 3 months. You know, it could be a big life change, like we were saying, as far as what you want, you know, with, you know, changing your path moving forward. But I do feel either way, there's sort of this ending around, I want to say the new year for a lot. But regardless, it feels to be somewhere in the middle of this 3-month period. And this ending of importance, even if, again, it's not like an opportunity coming to an end, but for a lot it is. This shift in ending is leaving your world developing greatly, okay? You could feel this shift coming. You could feel this change, and even maybe some of you are creating it all the meanwhile, but your world is going to develop like crazy, but in good ways. Anyways, so I love that we have these two cards here for you, Aquarius, because it really feels like you are wanting to enjoy life more. You're wanting to celebrate a bit more. And there are reasonings to do so, you know, to partake. But at times for some of you, it's about really, to be honest, how you go about choosing to celebrate. But with the Five of Cups in the reversal, there's just an expecting the best kind of an energy about this collective. You know, and if that comes and it goes, then so be it. But for the most part, it feels like you're kind of just expecting things to work themselves out or work out otherwise. You know, it's sort of this reminder to yourself in the very near future after watching this reading that you always figure it out, right? You always seem to, you know, get things in order and acquire what you need to and make things happen. And you always seem to choose to improve what needs to be improved all the meanwhile. And so I feel this reminder coming through because Spirit's saying, you've got this in the bag, you know? It honestly feels like pairing your spirituality with your intuition, you're golden, you know? But again, pairing these together with all of this bright light, enlightenment, imagery and energy, you're really feeling like life is heading on the up and up. And again, if that feeling isn't with you, even after watching this reading, it'll come to be, I want to say after around the first month or so, okay? So keep that in mind. But I really feel like this is going to be a transformative period is what I'm hearing. It's going to be, again, a period where your life is meant to be brightened up, mood-wise, energy-wise, you know, what you put your efforts and resources towards, that's brightening up. There's a sense of you even feeling lighter and healthier, okay? And so naturally that's going to affect all of your efforts, each and every area of your life positively, all right? But let's leave your beautiful next 3-month reading at that. I hope it was truly helpful. Love and light.